this is doing this, man. I should get it straight this way, man. I don't know why I'm not getting it straight. Hello, this is Life Up. You are here. If you are here, we are here to just talk about abroad, how to travel abroad. So, yeah, I don't know how many people come and watch me here, but if you could share it for others so that if I get enough people here, I can start talking about some of the things that I want to speak about. I don't usually do live, so some of the settings I don't even know how it is done. I need to check it out. Now I want my okay, well, I don't know. Okay, well, if I see that some people joined me here, then I can start talking about something, but I've not seen anyone joining me here yet, so I don't even know how these things are working. Someone giving me a like, I see the like. So actually today I have this time to come live because I should be at work by now because we had some issues at work, and because of that we have to close work and come home. So I'm home and I decided to come here and then talk to you. I decided to come here and talk to you. So I don't know if you know. Oh, it's very cold over here in Canada now. Where am I now? It is about -40. It is about -40. I may take you out for maybe just a few minutes because I can't stand outside. I may dress up and take you out for just a few. I wanted to open the other door for you to see outside, but whoo. So you could imagine -40, and then this is how you could see how the weather is. It's very cold outside. If I'm able to put on my boots, I can. Let me see. Put on my boots, and then I can just stand at the door and then show you outside. So yeah, I see two people here. I don't know. I would start talking about few things if you want to travel abroad. Yeah. So those who wish to come to Canada, this is how cold it could get. So let me switch my camera. And then you could see my door. This is inside, and then you could see how the ice. This is inside the room. And then you could see how icy it is inside the room. It's not even outside. Yeah, this is inside the room. There, you can see. So very cold, about -40. Yeah, but it's good if you are inside a room. You have your heat, so you put it at any temperature that you want it to be. You put it at the temperature that you want it to be. Well, still waiting for people to join me so that I can start talking about something. Or even if you come and then you have a question or something, you could just put it down and then I could answer you, because you might not be able to stay on for the whole time that I may be talking, and you might not be also be able to wait for others to join you. But what I'm saying is, Life Up, we help you or educate you on the informations that you need to travel abroad. If you want to travel abroad, information that you need, but specifically the United States and Canada. I don't have any information on traveling to any of the Arab countries or the Asia countries. I don't know anything about that. But if you want to travel to United States or Canada, then I can give you the necessary informations that you need. You need. So one thing I want to say is, because I receive countless of messages, and then most of them, sorry to use this word, I would say they are irrelevant. I'm very sorry to use that word, but what I mean by that is, like, some people who reach out to you, they want to travel abroad, but they don't even have a passport. So I ask myself, you want to travel abroad, but you don't have a passport. How is that possible? How is that possible? Some people too want to travel abroad, but they don't have the required prerequisites, like things that you need to travel abroad. They don't have it either, so it becomes a challenge. So the question is, how is that possible? That cannot be possible. That cannot be possible. If you are here, you are seeing this, share it for others so that they also get to know this information. So to travel abroad, one thing that you need to know is that first you need to get what you the requirement, the prerequisite, what is needed for you to travel. And then obviously your passport is number one, because you can't say I want to travel abroad without a passport. It doesn't work that way. Well, somebody could argue that even if they cross their border to the next country, they've traveled abroad. Well, if that is abroad for you, that is fine. Yeah, you can do that without a passport. You can do that with your Ghana card or your country ID to travel to your neighboring country. You can do that. But to come to United States or Canada, you need a passport. You need a passport. So that is very, very important. That is very, very important. That you need. One important thing is that you need. If you really, really want to travel abroad, you need that. You need that. Well, I don't know what is happening, but it seems my destiny is frozen or something like that. I don't know if you can hear me or you cannot hear me. I don't know. Yeah. Who is here with us? Okay, let's try this. Yeah, it's difficult. First time doing this. We want to put it on the feed. Can I share it to this group? Okay, so you here want to share? Share now. Yeah, I need to get my other computer and then. Sorry about that. Well, those who do live, it's not that easy either. I'm trying, I'm managing. It should be okay. I should be okay. I should be okay. Yeah, need more people here so that we can talk. People here so that we can talk. Okay. What is here? Okay, so welcome to Life App. Life App is here. Yeah, life is something I don't usually do. So, but I'm just trying it. I'm just trying to work on this life. I hope things work out best. Yep. Yeah, very cold over here. Very, very cold over here. Yes. It's very cold over here. I guess there's something wrong that I need to fix, and then okay, no turns. Everything should be alright. Yeah, yep, 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 yes, yes, yes. Okay. So if you have not been part of Life App, all that I would say is I will encourage you to be part of Life App. I will encourage you to be part of Life App so that you will get to know all the information that are needed, or information that you need to travel abroad. All the information that you need to travel abroad. So I'm here today to give you some of the information and possibly answer your questions that you need, or the questions that you have to help you travel abroad. The questions that you have to help you travel abroad. I don't know the question. I have seen some few people on. So as we're discussing, I was saying, let me just sit here, relaxed over here. Yeah, I only have this chance to talk to you about some of your issues. First of all, let's look at moving to Canada. Let's look at moving to Canada. Moving to Canada has been easy of late, but the easiness that it has been is not that easy. It's not that it's easy. It is easy, but not easy. Why am I saying that? Because things that you need, people will be telling you, oh, it's easy to come to Canada, it's easy to come to Canada. It is easy if you have what you need to come to Canada. It is easy if you meet the requirement then it will be very, very easy for you. But if you don't meet the requirement, it wouldn't be easy for you. Let's first look at school. Let's first look at school, because school is one of the easiest way that people talk about, and even I talk about school being one of the easiest way to move to Canada. I talk about that always. I talk about that always. So school is one of the easiest way. But what you need to do is, first of all, look out for your school. Which school do you want to attend in Canada? Which school do you want to attend in Canada? Look for the school. I would advise you that because of the fees, the fee is too high. So don't take like 4-year program. Just take 1 year, 2 years maximum program. Because if your program is more than 9 months, you qualify to get a study permit. But if your program is, you qualify to get a postgraduate work permit. For the study permit, they can give it to you if your program is even less than 1 year. But if your program is more than 9 months, so take 1 year, 2 years, because what's happening is, if a Canadian citizen or permanent resident is paying $5,000 for a year as school fees, like tuition, you as an international, you are going to pay $1,500. And then most school on average a year you are going to pay about, on average you are going to pay about $30,000 a year. So if you are choosing a course that is for 4 years, meaning that you are going to pay not less than $120,000 a year in tuition and then other costs. So you choose a program that is 1 year or 2 years maximum, so that you can complete it as soon as possible, and then you find your way out. And so the first thing is, get your school, get admitted, and then make sure that the school that you are choosing have what is called DLI, Designated Learning Institution. It is only those schools that are allowed to accept international applicants. So if you are choosing a school, make sure that the school have a DLI. If you don't see it on their website, reach out to them and find out. And that is one of the reasons we are here as Life Up, to help you find out some of this. You can reach out to us. Hey, I'm looking at this school, but I don't see this information on their website. Can you verify it for us, or can you check it for us? Yes, because I'm right here in Canada, if I get the chance, I could just pick up my phone and call the school and then ask them any question that you want to on your behalf, then give you the information. So the school should be a DLI school. And then one thing that you have to also look at, if the school is, they give postgraduate work permit. It's not all schools that gives you work permit after you've completed your course. So you have to check that too. But to me personally, depending on who you are and then your qualification and what you have, that shouldn't be a bigger problem. Because if you are on demand, if your job, your qualification is on demand, after your school, you obviously get a job that will help you get a work permit. But it's important that you have the postgraduate work permit, so that after school, you still have some time to work, to start working, and then looking for like a job that will give you a permanent work permit. So that is also very important that you need to know. If you have any question, do not hesitate. You can just put it in the chat, and then I'll do my best to help you with it. So you have to You got your admission, you know the school that you want, and then you apply for your study permit. The study permit can take long. The study permit can take long. So you have to apply to your school early so that you give them time to process your study permit for you. Now you've been admitted, you've gotten your visa, you've come to Canada as a student. You have to start schooling. And then one thing is, we told the visa officer that we are ready to come and study. We prove our fund. We show the amount of money that we have to study, to come and study. But if you come and then maybe you knew what you were doing, let's speak the fact. Maybe your plan was to come to get a student visa, come and then abandon the school and then do your own thing. You can do that, but you have to be very careful. For the school, never abandon it forever. You still have to find a way to complete the school. And you don't have to complete that same school. So my advice would be that if you enter the country and then your aim was to get a visa, come and then abandon the school, that will not help you in the future. So you can find your own work, a work that you want to do, which I will tell you is not easy to come by to, but it's possible. So if you try hard, you push hard, you may be able to find your way. After you find the work, make sure that before your visa, your study permit, visa expires, you have completed a school. I'm using a school. Before your study permit expired, you have completed a school. So if you chose a school that have maybe 2-year program, as I said earlier on, you try that, you get a school that will give you about maybe a 1-year program or something whilst you are working, or a school that will allow you to do most of your work online. You can't do fully online because that will be against the visa that they gave you as a study permit. So like a school that is like, it is a full-time school, but some of the programs you'll be able to do most of your work outside the school building. So you'll be working and then schooling at the same time. So you get a 1-year program so that you'll be able to fulfill the visa that was given to you. But if you abandon the school totally, without attending the school, without attending any school, without completing any school, then it's going to be a problem at the end. Because if that visa they gave you as a student expires, and then you want to renew it, or you want to have a switch of it's going to be difficult, because you said you are coming to school. Now you never went to the school. So that is deceiving the officer, and that have a whole lot of consequences. So be careful that you should work, but make sure that before your visa expires, you have completed the school. In that case, you'll be able to defend yourself in so many ways. If even an officer asks you, they may not ask, but if an officer asks you that why, because you completed school, so they may not ask, but if they ask you, you've completed a school, so that wouldn't be a problem. Then one thing you should also note is that, like, some people think or know, they perceive that if you come into Canada as a student, after you complete your school, you could just say, give me a permanent resident or give me a work permit. It doesn't work that way. They have the postgraduate work permit that is given, and even that one, it is a policy, and we don't know whether it will continue forever. It has own like advantage, disadvantage, a whole lot of things going out with that. So what is it that after your school you have to apply for work? To get a work permit. You have to apply for a work to get a work permit. So my advice would be, whilst you are in the school, some of the school you do like intense, what they call over here co-op or intense. You do it. So whilst you are doing that intense, you make sure that you do your connections well. You talk to people so that after the school they can hire you. Or even if you are not doing your co-op or any intern, wherever you are working as a student, you try and then talk to the manager, talk to the HR, find a way so that they can employ you. If even they don't want you, find a way to talk to them, to convince them to employ you so that you get I will use the word permanent. This is a word that I'm making up. Permanent work permits. There isn't anything like that. But like what I mean is, you get a work permit that you can use to work. And then, before you get a work permit, you need to get the LMIA. Postgraduate work permit doesn't come with any. You don't need any. They give it to you automatically, but if that expires, you need your own work permit. That work permit have to be like LMIA exempt. So you have to make sure that you are talking to your managers, you are telling them, and most of them don't know about these immigration issues. So if you go to the job, look out for those that you can trust. And then let them know your situation. And then let them know, not just letting them know your situation, but let them know that it is possible and this is how they can do it. And those are some of the things we are here to guide you to know. You know that we cannot say everything online, but some of the things, if you reach out to us, we'll give you our ideas on it, how others did it and it worked, so that I can also look at it that way. So that is another what you need to do. So it's not easy, but it's possible. So what I was saying was, you don't think that after your school you get your permanent residence straight away. You have to apply for the permanent resident, and then most permanent residents, you have to like get it through a job. That is most of them. There are so many routes for permanent resident. Express entry is the one that you don't need a job to apply to, but even that one, if you don't have a job, like you don't get higher score. Some people manage to get higher score because some people really have a lot of experience. And then if you are using express entry, you see, you've schooled in Canada, so that will give you points. You've worked in Canada, that will give you points. So if you're not that old, you get enough points. If your English proficiency, your IELTS is better, you get enough points. So that gives you very good chances of putting in the express entry. And then within 6 months to 9 months, you get your permanent residence. So that is how it works. So it's not automatically that after school you get your permanent residency. And then if you want to go through the work route too, some of the provinces will give you provincial nominee, and then you can use that to apply for permanent residence. You get your work permit. So those are the things that you need to do. So if you're coming as a student, after your school, you still come back to the immigration processes, but you have an advantage over somebody who have not schooled here or who is not in the country. You have a very big advantage over them. That is why we advise that coming to the school is the best. Now, if you want to come and work straight away. You want to come and work straight away without like coming to school. You don't want to come to school, you're a worker, you want to come and work. Then you have to apply for job first. And then your job must be LMIA exempt. You know, there are so many programs. There are so many programs that you don't need an LMIA. But the sad news or the sad part of it is that you see all those programs are country specific. And then most of the African countries do not qualify for such programs. Well, if those listening me, if you know some people in government or you are a politician, you are affiliated to your MPs, you are able to talk to your MPs, and those are some of the things that they have to do. Those are some of the things that they have to do. They have to talk to the embassies or the other government so that some of this like you hear agric program, like people come and farm in Canada, but it's not for everybody. It's for some countries. That is for some countries. Yeah, some people come here as nurses. It's for some country. You can come through your own route, but that would be like coming the hard way. But not just that you come in and they pick you. No. And then there are so many immigration pathways for some countries. So our government could also work with the Canadian government or other governments, and then we have that simple pathway as well. But since we don't have that, you have to apply for job, and then a job that is LMIA exempt, or a job that will qualify for LMIA. So that is what you need to do. You apply for a job that is LMIA exempt or a job that will qualify for LMIA. And then if you get that, then you'll be able to apply for the work permit. And then in most of those cases, you have the chance to apply for permanent residence depending on the route that you take. So that is why it is important that you always read more and then ask more questions so that people will guide you on what to do. So if you want to work, that is how. So you don't come to Canada, or you don't think that you could just come to Canada, apply for work permit straight away. No, it doesn't happen that way. You cannot just apply for work permit and then think that you'll get a work permit. You'll be denied the work permit. You need to get a job first. And then the job, if you have the job offer, you need to also get the LMIA or LMIA exempt. And then the employers do that. And then some of the employers, you have to guide them in doing that. So if you have your job offer, you have your LMIA and then LMIA exempt or LMIA or LMIA exempt, then you'll be able to apply for work permit, and then you'll be granted a work permit. If you're lucky, within 2 weeks or 1 month, you'll get a work permit and you'll be able to move to Canada and then work. That is how that also works. There are so many things into this immigration issues. There are so many things into it. So you need to prepare well. Now visit is one of the things that it has a whole lot of issues with it. You are coming to visit the country. So you are not here, you are not coming to work, and you don't intend to be a permanent resident, but you are coming to visit and then go back. So some of you or some people, a lot of agents in Ghana and other African countries, they lie to you that if you get a visa, you come to Canada, you'll be able to get work permit. It doesn't work that way. you will be able to get a work permit, but it's not automatic that if you have a visit visa, if you come to Canada, you get a work permit. No, it doesn't work that way. You are a visitor, you are coming to visit. Even if you are a visitor and then you get to the airport in Canada and the border officer asks you, will you work if you find a job? And then you answer yes, you could be turned back. Yeah. So even this should tell you that even if you answer yes to that question at the border before you enter Canada, like the plane have entered, you've landed at the airport, you have to go through immigration and they ask you, will you work if you find a job? And you say yes. With that answer, you could be turned back to your home country. With that answer alone, they could turn you back to your home country. So even that should tell you that coming with a visitor's visa doesn't mean that you get a work permit. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So be very careful about those who tell you, hey, pay 80,000, pay 100,000, pay 30,000, pay 50,000. I'll get you a visitor's visa. And if you come to Canada, you get work. It doesn't work that way. This is how that works. And even that one, it was just COVID time. During the COVID time, that is when they implemented that if you are a visitor, you could apply for a work permit, because during the COVID time, people could not travel outside Canada, and those who were visitors here at that time have been locked over here. They can't go back to their home country. So the government saw that, well, COVID has put a lot of people home. No, people are not, we have shortage of workers. We have visitors also here who cannot go back to their home country. So let me give them opportunity to apply for work permit. That was, it happened in 2022, COVID time. That is when that happened, that they issued that policy, and they've not canceled it till now. It was supposed to be canceled. They always like extend it, and till now it has not been canceled. So it is not automatically that if you come as a visitor, you get a work permit. No. And even with that, you have to go through the same process for a work permit. Your job have to be an LMIA exempt or LMIA offered job. But the good part of that is you don't go through a whole lot of, like, you don't wait for a longer time, because you're already here as a visitor. So if you have your LMIA or your LMIA exempt, you could just go to the border and then get your work permit that same day. So those of you who are being deceived that if you get your visitor's visa, you could become a permanent resident, or you could get a work permit if you come to Canada, that is a lie. You have to go through the same process to look for a job. Your job should be LMIA or LMIA exempt job. You have to apply for the work permit. The immigration officer will go through your papers and everything and then give you the work permit. But the advantage of it is that you can go to the US border and do what is called frag pull, and then get your work permit that same day. That has an advantage because you are standing there. The officer too is there looking at your document and making decision. If you're lucky, you get a friendly officer. If there is something that he needs to clarify, he could just call you and ask you, just interview you, and then so you see that is very lucky, good done. The one that you send it online, we don't see the officer. There are certain things we could have explained better, but because we did not put it in our application, or the officer, even we did, but the officer do not understand it how we thought or we understand it, so they could deny us. So that is how that visitor stuff work. So don't think that you come to Canada as a visitor and then you get a work permit. So that is how the visitor thing also work. How the visitor thing also work. There are so many things into the immigration issue that you need to know. So if you plan to travel, please make sure that you are doing your research very well. You are doing your research very, very well, and I hope that, yeah, it should be good. Things should be good, especially coming to Canada. If you meet the requirement, if you have anything they are asking you, it's very, very good. One big thing that faces students or those who want to come and visit is that make you pay huge amount of money to agents, is the proof of fund. That makes you pay huge amount of money to agent. But you know that that is something that you can work around it. You may not have that money, because now if you're coming as a student, your proof of fund should be at least $50,000. Your proof of fund as a student should be at least $50,000, because if your cost of living they are looking at is above, it is 20,665 or 85, so let's say 21,000 for your cost of living that you need to prove, plus your first year tuition, not first semester but first year tuition. So if your first year tuition is also, let's say 20,000, which is the least you can get, that may have to prove 40,000. So I target 50,000 as your proof of fund, and that will give you an upper hand. The agents, this is quote and unquote, like putting it in a quotation comments. Well, I'm not going to explain what I know they do or I think they do over here, but you know what they do. But you know that you can, what to call, like pool of money. You can ask friends, you can ask family members, put your money together in a one statement, and then you can use that as your proof of fund. And if you are coming as a student, it doesn't mean that you are the one to show in your account you have the money. No. Anybody who is ready to sponsor your education can show that we have this amount and we are sponsoring. And then it is not that it should be just one person. It could be 2 people, it could be 3 people that are willing to show you to pay your fees. So if one is having 20,000 in his account, another is having 30,000, that is making 50,000, another is having 10,000. So all the 3 of them, then you share it, that this person is my father, he's taking 60% of my education, this is his statement, this is the work he does. This is my uncle, he's taking 30%, this is his statement, this is the work he does. This is my brother, he's taking 20%, I'd say 60, 30, so 10%, this his statement, this is the work he does. They are the one, then they have to write, like to attach to their statement, they are willing to pay your fees. So if the officer sees that, yeah, you'll be granted the visa. You'll be granted a visa, because the officer now knows that you have people who are supporting you. Because what they don't want is, they don't want you to come here and then get stranded. Because they've seen that a lot of people come, give them the visa, and then they become a burden to the Canadian government. They become a burden to the Canadian government. So the Canadian government will make sure that you have people to support you, and it doesn't have to come from one account. It can come from multiple accounts. All you need to do is you explain it. You write a letter attached to it that this person is my uncle, this person is my aunt, this person is my brother, they are sponsoring my education. You can't use that for visits unless it is a company that is sponsoring the visit. Why am I saying you can't use that for a visit? Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that you will say your uncle, your friends, your brothers, they are sponsoring your visit. Like, you see, it doesn't actually make sense. And then they look at what you do to, so it's very important. It's very important. And then if somebody, I know what people do. So if you are doing that, make sure that you get a statement yourself. Go through the statement yourself and make sure that there isn't any mistake in the statement. Because if something is not genuine, if you look at it yourself, you should be able to identify this one is not genuine. So, but the officers are trained to know that. So if you print something which is not genuine, they will be able to identify it. So if you are getting it somewhere, make sure that it's genuine. But it's not even important to use any fake documents, because at the end you could be banned and it could affect your dream of traveling abroad. It could affect your dream of traveling abroad. So I think yeah, I've said a lot. And then yeah, have to pause here. What else didn't I say? Yes, I know I did not cover a lot, but I've said a lot, and I was just giving you the point. So Life App, we are here to help you. We are here to give you the information. Yeah, and one thing, this is not about traveling abroad, but it's about you being careful on social media. I don't know if it was there, or I think it was there already, but now that people are getting to me, those of you who followed me, who know me from the beginning, I have my own Facebook account, like a life account as well. Unfortunately, my Facebook account, somebody tried to enter into it. I have a lot of security measures on it, but that is bad side of Facebook. Facebook were able to detect it wasn't me trying to enter into it, so they suspended it. That now it's difficult to reach out to Facebook for them to get my account back. I've written to them severally, but no response. But when I decided to concentrate on the Life App Facebook, I've seen a whole lot of scammers there, a whole lot of them. So just be careful. If somebody is telling you, I'm this person, I want to help, they will just come, hello, get your number, and then yes, just be careful. Just be me. So just be vigilant. Now I have one in the hook that he impersonated one MP. That's the Medina MP. I think his name is Honorable Satsu. So I have that guy in the hook that my network was